Muted?
Nope, you're good. It's recording.
Okay. Hi, everybody. So I know not everybody's on here, but we're recording. So for those of you who are watching at a later time, excited to have you guys be listening. So I'm going to start by saying, number one, that I get really nervous talking in front of people and sharing. So just bear with me. And I also ramble when I get nervous. So if I start to ramble, just be like, okay, move on to the next point. And then I also want to say that I'm not an expert. So sometimes I feel weird about sharing because I still feel like I'm really new with Arbonne and I obviously don't know everything there is to know. But I also feel like that should be encouraging to people, that you can have quick success and that you don't have to be an expert wherever you're at. So not being an expert really makes the business attractive to other people. So just remember that, either if you're first starting or if you've been in it for a little while, that it's okay to not know everything. And so I'm just going to share like my experiences with Arbonne so far and what helped me close district manager and promote AM and all those things. And it's not, I feel like it's different for everybody. So this will just be kind of my 2 cents, plus what I've learned from other people and some trainings that I've heard and stuff too. So as I share, I'm a very linear thinker. So I like lists, I like steps, I like things in outlines. So I'm going to kind of go in order of kind of what I would do to promote district manager. So I know some of you are new and you're like just in DM call. Some of you have been doing this for a long time and you're like, okay, I'm ready for my butt to be a district manager. So hopefully things that I share can work both. I'll just go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I would do is tell somebody that you would like to go or promote district manager or whatever your promotion is. So tell your upline, tell your mentor, whoever that is, and just let them know that you're serious about it. Because sometimes I feel like we can say, oh, well, this is my goal and this is what I'm going to do, but we don't necessarily mean it or we don't really give it validity. So when you tell your upline that you're doing this, they can help you break down your goals and they can help you kind of plan out your month so that, okay, you want to go district manager, but that's a really big thing. Like, how can we break that down step by step and build to that? And so then after you tell them, let them help you, because sometimes I feel like we get afraid to let people help us or we get afraid to ask for help. And I will say, like, when I went district manager was my first month in Arbonne, and so I needed so much help. Like, I was on Jamie and Megan all the time, and they told me it's going to be like we're married, and it was. Like, we communicated all the time, and I was just eating everything that they said, and I needed tons of help. So please don't feel bad about that. They want to help you. That's what your upline is for. So please use them. The other thing that's cool about that is they've been there, done that. So something that really helped me was Jamie and Megan said, we've gone down that road and we went all over the bumps, right, to get to where they are. And so then their job is to help us get there with less bumps. And then it'll be your job when you promote district manager to help your team get there with even less bumps. So just let them help you because they've been there, they've done that, they know what they're doing, and they've done the do. And so let them help you with that. Something else. So the next thing that I would do after I tell your mentor, your upline that you're doing this and you're serious about it is to think about your calendar and just fill your calendar as full as you can get it with as much activity as you can. So I would say in my first month, I had at least 10 parties, some launches, some just other people having parties. So just fill your calendar like crazy. And if you don't get anything else out of this call, maybe some of this information is like overwhelming to you and you just need to focus on one thing. Focus on your calendar. Just focus on your asks. Focus on getting your calendar as full as you can. So what does that mean? These are all things that you guys know, but I'm going to say them anyways. Get in front of 40 people. And so I really didn't think that way when I first started. I really functioned better thinking about my workshops and my one-on-ones. So knowing to have 6 to 10 workshops. So you'll hear people say 6 for success, 8 to be great, and 10 to win. So depending on where your numbers are at, depending on, where you are in the district manager qualification period, maybe you need less, maybe you need more. I always think it's better to book on the heavy side just in case, because things come up, people cancel, you have to reschedule to the next month. So just book really full with workshops. And then I always match my workshops with one-on-ones. So if I'm doing 6 workshops, I want to make sure I have 6 one-on-ones as well to kind of keep it balanced. So I'm sharing about the products, but I'm also sharing about the business. Something that Jamie told me when I first started is she wished, and I think she would admit this, like she wished she would have started building sooner. And Jamie went district manager all on her own, which was awesome. She worked her butt off and she did it. And it's very, very doable. But I will say that from her saying that encouraged me to start right away with my one-on-ones. And I didn't do them by myself. I had Megan help me. I still have Megan and Jamie help me. So please don't feel bad about that. And that's something we're working on my team too, is like, let's get those one-on-ones going and let us help you with those. Because once you get somebody on your team and that person goes district manager qual by signing up with their products, that's 1,000 less that you have to worry about. And so I had somebody sign up with me my first month of starting, and they did 1,500, got into qual their very first month. Boom, that was 1,500 that I didn't have to do. So if one-on-ones freak you out, this is just me saying, do them. I know they're scary, but once you start doing more and more, they get less scary and you get better and better at it. So if you're terrified, ask somebody to do them with you. I know Megan loves to do them. I know Jamie loves to do them. Anybody would be happy to help. And then also utilize the other things, like Megan frickin' killed it tonight in the Discover Arbonne. So utilize those for people, third-party events, utilize videos for people if they don't want to meet you for one-on-ones. And I will say I'm not a huge social media. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. I'm not a huge social media user, and I think social media is great, but everything, that I feel like I've done all the good has come from personal reach outs. So it's not enough to just post on Facebook and say, hey, I started my Arbonne business. Are you interested in products? That's not what gets people hooked. And honestly, I think a lot of people just kind of scroll past it because there are a lot of network marketing businesses out there. So Arbonne is different because we are a relationship building company. And so you need to be building relationships and not just posting on social media. Don't get me wrong, social media is great, but you're going to have more success with personal reach out. So I just encourage you to just kind of focus on your asks. And then the other thing I'll say about that is you are not bugging people. I wish I would have heard that in my first month. You are not bugging people. So get that crap out of your head now and switch your thinking. I watched an Eric Worre video. He wrote the Network Marketing Pro. And he said, do you believe in your product? Do you believe in the company that you work for? Do you believe that you have a blessing to give other people? And if your answer is no, then why are you doing Arbonne, first of all? If your answer is yes, then you know that you have an opportunity to give people and that you have a blessing to give people, that it's going to better their lives and their health and their happiness and their career and everything. So you're not bugging people. Just continue to reach out to people because you have something good to offer them. So focus on your calendar. Get that as full as you can. Number 3, something that was huge for me and still is to this day, is to plug in. So I know in this business, and it's like this all month long, right? We have highs and we have lows. We're in qual, and then we're not in qual, and we don't make it, and all these things. So you're gonna get discouraged, and you're gonna get to the point in your month where you're like, oh, I'm not gonna get that district manager close. I'm not gonna hit my numbers. I have that freak out every month. And the number one thing that has helped me with that is to be plugged in. So plugged into things that Megan hosts on Dream Builders, plugged into SoundCloud, listening to other people give me vision and give me belief, plugged in with my mentor, Jamie, who we do coaching calls with, and she talks me through those ups and downs. Whatever it is, plug into those things like they're your lifeline, because they will be. And then just let that part encourage you. And so sometimes you can start to feel like, when you're doing you're doing your ask and all these things, you can start to feel like, okay, I'm on my own little Arbonne island and I'm getting some no's, and oh my gosh, and your cup just kind of goes down, right? So that's when you plug back in and you tell your mentor, hey, you know what, I'm starting to freak out a little bit, yada, yada, yada. They fill you up again, you listen to a SoundCloud, you get motivated again, and it just keeps filling your cup. So I think it's really important to make that a part of your weekly schedule of when you're going to kind of get that professional growth and development. And then just continue to feed your positive thinking by staying plugged in, because we can get really negative very quickly, especially if like your other job might be negative. I know that was the case for me. So Arbonne was like my lifeline, and I needed it to fill me up so that I was better at my asks. I was better at my workshops. Okay, so stay plugged in. That's really going to help. The other thing I wish somebody would have told me my first month is that you're going to hear no. I was a huge baby, and I'm pretty sure I cried several times when people told me no, because one of my biggest things was, oh my God, what are people going to think of me? And so it was really like, I took it very personally when people said no. And I wish somebody would have said, like, get over it, Katie, you're going to get no's. And that's the truth. I kind of needed some tough love. And I know Jamie and I have had that conversation. But I think the biggest thing is to not let the no stop you. And I'll be honest, I was a no forever. Like, you can just ask Jamie, like, she'll probably roll her eyes and laugh. But I was a no for a long time. And I remember calling Jamie at one of our retreats, sobbing, saying, I am so glad you didn't stop following up with me, because I needed Arbonne in my life. And so my encouragement to you, see, now I'm going to get all choked up here. Sorry, this is stupid. Okay, my encouragement to you is that no's are not right now. So that was true for me, and it's been true for a lot of people. So I've been reading this book, Get Over Your Damn Self. It's freaking awesome. Thank you, Laura, for recommending it. And I just read this last night, so I thought it was really fitting, but it says failure comes from the no, but from failing to keep following up with the no. So if you stop at the no and you never reach back around to that person, I would have never gotten into Arbonne. And so I just encourage you to don't let those no's stop you from continuing towards your goal of closing district manager. So move past the no's, and then just keep working them down that funnel like Laura did a training on. So ask them for a workshop. If that doesn't work, the one-on-one. If that didn't work, the video. And then hit them with the samples and get them to be a product user. And again, that's something that I still have to refer back to my upline with. So don't stop at the no, just continue to grow from that. And then if the no does get you down and you are upset about it and you feel stupid or they're not responding, which I get all the time, it's like crickets on Facebook Messenger sometimes, tell your upline. So I always tell Jamie, like, what the heck, this person said no. And then she always talks me through it and kind of feeds me that positivity. So again, that plugging in is huge. So bounce back to those no's and continue to follow up with them. And if you need help with that, ask your mentor. And the other thing is, if you've been trying to go district for a long time and you're frustrated and you're not sure, like, what am I doing that's not working? An idea that I had is, from Megan, is to check with your upline or your mentor about your verbiage. So what are you saying to people? Screenshot it, send it to Megan or whoever your mentor is, and have them either tweak it or kind of give you some feedback. And sometimes it truly is just changing one thing that makes a world of difference. So I know, like, for a person on my team, her verbiage was awesome. She was so personal about her asks. The one thing that was missing is she wasn't asking a question at the end. Like, she wasn't saying, like, would you be interested in chatting with me for 20 minutes? It was as simple as that. We added in a couple questions, boom. It changed the outlook there. So that's my encouragement. Don't give up on the no's. Don't let them get you down. Keep moving past them. And then I just have a couple other tips. Like if you haven't done the boot camp yet, for sure get in on that and do the boot camp, because you'll learn a lot about the products just being a part of the group. You'll get your own stories about the products as well that you can share and connect better with people. And another great thing about when you're doing it is I feel like people are more apt. So Amanda, I just saw your question. Boot camp is the 30 days to healthy living. Sorry. So the great thing about if it's your first time doing it, you can tell people like, I'm doing this. I'm kind of nervous. I need 5 people to do it with me. Get 5 people to do it with you and then go after more. And then that's, 260 QV or however much the nutrition kit is times 5. There you go. You've got huge numbers there. So, and then the other thing, the last thing I would just say is just trust that the work you put in is going to reflect how hard you've worked. So trust the system. Like, obviously the way I did it wasn't perfect. It's going to be different for everybody, but just knowing that focusing on filling your calendar, staying plugged in, doing those things, your numbers are going to reflect, that work that you put in. So just continue to feed your mind positivity because, like I said, you are going to have lots of ups and downs throughout the month. And then the last thing I'll say is to just start making the time. So if you feel like, why am I not district manager yet? Just maybe it's that you just need to start making the time. Put away the excuses, just kind of go after it. And then before you know it, you'll be in AM qual. So just kind of always keeping your sights high that you're going to do this, and then AM qual is going to follow right behind that. So that's all I have. Sorry, I feel like I rambled a little bit and got teary-eyed there for a second, so that's super embarrassing. But that's just a couple of my tidbits for district manager. So I don't know, Megan or Jamie, if you guys want to add anything, or Abby's on there too.
No, that was incredible. Let's, Abby, if you want any districts, if you, especially like Nikki just went district, Abby just went district, if you girls want to, oh my gosh, and Kate's so awesome. She gets up at 4 a.m. If you, and even Kate, like, Kate will be a district manager like next week. If you girls want to add anything, any encouragement or a top tip, or for those of you on live, if you want to ask a Q&A, just know, I know it's like you have to be brave to ask a question, but know like everyone else probably has that question in their head and they're silent going, thank you. Thank you for asking that. So unmute your lines and ask away or comment away.
I know for me, I just really had to decide that I was going to put the work and the time in. Initially, I signed up in January, and I remember that end of that first month thinking, what is all of this hullabaloo about regarding like close day? And I just didn't get it. And then in February, I got it a little bit more, because I was like, I went into DM qual and I was like, what the heck? This is pretty cool. And so March was really the month where I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I need to carve the time into my day. Some of you know I'm a PhD student, and so I have night class 3 nights a week, and a ton of reading, and just it's like self-punishment, but I really enjoy it. So I knew I had to carve some extra time into my day. And so I really do. I mean, I'm not perfect at it with like getting up at 4 a.m., but I find that if the house is quiet, I can have a cup of coffee. I can get all of my correspondence ready, like typed out and saved. So all I have to do is hit send at a more reasonable time of the day, or to send, the text messages or send Facebook messages to people that I'm following up with. And that works really well for me, because I know if I wait until a more reasonable time of the day, I literally don't have the time to get those things done, or my brain is so scattered I can't focus on those things. And I know I've worried too about like being the creepy Arbonne lady. That's been my biggest worry, but I've really found that being sincere in reaching out to people and showing a genuine interest in them and what they're doing. And not, I think it was Megan that had said not to drip Arbonne on people, or maybe it was you, Jamie, but to kind of like say what I'm thinking, that if I'm nervous about asking them or telling them, to just acknowledge it, just to be real. And I think that has really worked out well. And the biggest rejection that I got was actually from some of my family. Like, a lot of my family thinks that I am just crazy for doing this additional thing on top of, you know, working full time and getting my PhD. And now what the heck is she doing? But you know what? When I'm driving that white Mercedes, I am not taking them for a ride. I probably will. But I just figure, and I think it was Jamie that told me, you know, they are not the ones signing your paycheck. And so just knowing and believing and being prepared for the no's, and knowing that some of the no's might be yeses later, because I was totally a no when a friend approached me like a year and a half ago. And also not being afraid to reach out. Like that night when my sister was so awful, I reached out to Nikki and Jamie and Megan, and they were like, oh my God, let me tell you about, you know, some of my rejections. And so just knowing that you're not alone with it. And I really love this team atmosphere, and just like feeling the love between everybody, and the genuine care to help others grow their business, that we're not in competition with each other. We support each other and help each other build. And I think that's some of the coolest stuff about Arbonne, and use that to your advantage in building your business.
Love it, Kate. I'm sorry, my little space heater's like gonna take flight. I hope it's not too loud for you guys. But yes, you do not annoy Kate. But any other questions or comments? Any burning questions for those of you in DM Qual?
I guess I just have a question. I know, Kate, you kind of touched on it. You said you're a PhD student, but I have a someone who's really interested in selling, and she's younger. I mean, she's not even 20 yet. She's freshman in college, and she's really interested. She just signed up to be a PC of mine, but her mom is really involved, and is telling her that that's too much time and she doesn't want to do it. And I mean, I know that the semester ends in like a month, but she kind of doesn't want to wait. She wants to sign up to kind of you know, be the one to host her launch for her friends, instead of just having me run the launch, and you know, then she gets paid for it while she's doing it. Any suggestions there for like you know, a full-time student, as far as like what kind of time constraint it takes, or if it takes away from school, or kind of, you know, you carve out extra time obviously, but any tips there?
Honestly, I find I am the queen of multitasking. So a lot of times I'm working my business while I'm in class. I mean, I don't recommend that for everybody.
Right.
But I think too, it's just like nothing says she has to go at a race car pace either. I mean, she can tip her toe in the water and do some of those launches with her friends and get a feel for it before the end of the school year, and then really hit it hard to build her business this summer. And I don't know, like for me, I really do love to be busy. And part of that's my taking this on, but for her to think about her why, like why she's really wanting to do it, and then to trust her gut and trust her heart and to go for it. And I think, you know, connecting her with all of this group too is going to help fill her Arbonne cup, instead of all those people that are like trying to poke a hole in it and drain it all out. But, you know, nothing says she has to get up at 4 a.m. She can, you know, do it at a pace that she's comfortable with.
Okay.
I also feel like with like, because I have like 4 different jobs right now, so Arbonne just kind of fills the gaps here. But like with her different classes, it will be helpful because then she can pull different groups. So this class, she can pull a few people out of that class, and this class, she can pull from that class. So it might be helpful if she starts right away, so then she still has those groups of people.
Yeah, and she's in a sorority, and that's who she wants to share it with, and that's why she wants to sign up, but her mom is so
Amanda,
against it.
Sounds like it's her that is the issue, it's the mom, right? So how do we get the mom on board?
Yeah, like just as far as like, she can go at her own pace and things like that. I don't know. My mom was involved, but she still was like, if that's what you want to do, honey, still I've never, I guess, gone up against that.
Amanda, I'll share a little bit. I've been working with a lot of college girls lately, just signing them up and talking them through what it looks like. I feel like college age girls, and Megan's heard me complain about this, and I don't mean complain, but like they just don't have a vision, like a big vision. They just are like, I'm really busy. This is when I have class, and I'm like, class like for 1 hour. Like, you're not that busy. Painting a picture for them, you know what I mean? Like painting a picture and saying like, when do you have time in your schedule? And then I always kind of fall back on past examples, and you could use me or somebody on a team and say, well, I have another girl on our team that is coaching a college girl, and she starts really slow, and she started now, and she had her party, like you're saying. Explain to her like how great her party is going to be, and she's like, and tell her how easy to start her business, but like use another person as an example, like a success story, because I feel like they want to know that it's going to work. And I mean, if she has the vision and the belief, that's awesome. And just say, I know my friend had she got on a call to answer questions, like verify or like justify, I think is the word I'm looking for, justify like her mom's fears. Like, I want to talk to your mom and like give her legit answers and say, this is a legit business. Let's get her on a call if you're like serious about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we're gonna wrap this up just because we have another call. But if you still have remaining questions, text your coach, your mentor, whoever's working with you, and be like, help, this didn't get answered. But I'm gonna have Erin pop on and give our DM calls just one piece of advice and some encouragement. She's our soon to be national vice president. So she is my sponsor, Renee Welk's sponsor. She is a mama bear. So this is what I'm going to tell you, Amanda, because I know your girl. She's from Waukee. Erin is from Waukee. Erin doesn't quite have a 20-year-old, but she almost has a 15-year-old, I think. But she is like the mama bear. I mean, you guys think I'm a mama bear and protective of our team. You should meet Erin Grassi. She is the definition of a mama bear, and she'd be a perfect one to tell your friend, like, why don't you and your mom get on this call with me and one of my coaches, Erin? She is a huge mama bear. She has, kiddos of all age ranges. She can really answer your mom's questions because Erin's like the bomb.com at that. And she is a huge mama bear, so she's going to totally relate to your prospect's mom. Okay, Erin, take it away.
Oh you guys, my dog has gone spastic, and she never does this. And so I'm so sorry. She's at the door barking. She never does this. So I am going to make this super short because I know it's annoying to hear a dog. She's going crazy, and I'm kind of nervous because I'm not here and she's at the door, and I've never seen her do this. So I'm so sorry. She's protecting me. She is. Okay, so first of all, I love seeing of your beautiful faces and putting a name to the face. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so sorry, seriously. And I am just so proud of you guys. You are knocking it out of the park, and this business is pretty simple. You got to keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. That is like the biggest advice I can give. Oh, I'm so annoyed with that. Just keep it simple. When you start complicating it and overthinking, and your friend Amanda, I mean, she's shared it with her mom's overthinking, and typically what that is it's just lack of experience, and that's okay. Most people have not pursued something like this and become super successful with it or whatever. And so it's not the typical traditional norm. And so I will say, because your friend's mom is probably my age, for real, like she probably is. And so in the 90s, in the 80s, in the 70s, like when you're raised in that age, like it's just, you go to school, you get a degree, you pay off that degree for years, and you work for a boss. It's not fun. It's not ideal. I'm gonna move. I'm so sorry. This is life, right? I'm just going down to my basement now. Okay, I'm just gonna sit here on the steps while she barks and goes crazy. So like I said, if I could just give one tip, it's to just keep it simple. Anytime I've gotten in a rut, and you guys, I've been in more ruts than you could shake a stick at. Like, it's just par for the course. I've been in Arbonne for 9 years. It hasn't been easy. It's been amazing. I've shed a lot of tears. I've had a lot of laughs. It's just, you have to decide, am I going to do this? And what is my dream? What's my vision? And stick with it. And when you start thinking crazy thoughts of like, just go back to the basics. Right now, I am back at the basics. I'm like going through my list. I'm adding to my list. I'm trying to get in front of new people. It doesn't ever change. So when you look at it and you're like, how am I ever going to do this? Or can I finish district? You absolutely can finish district. Do what you did to get into qual for district. Just keep doing it. Like, just over and over and over. I don't know, Megan. I don't know if you want me to share anything else specifically. I'm just so annoyed at the dog right now.
No, that was perfect. Thank you, DMs to be in April. I know you all can finish. I'm going to end the recording, and then if you're a district manager already, stay on. You have the call next.